Oh my, is it looking bad. Good morning, folks. It's 9:32 a.m. on the 17th day, 12th month, 2022. Please bear with the sound of the fan in the background. That's my only source of heat, and I'm grateful for it. This is your 10-day totals for this trough here. Most of the northern territory here is going to be totally inundated over the next 10 days, and the pressure setup is for that to continue in toward the New Year's, with tracking more toward the east. The greatest news of all I have to give, and I love to give that, is over here. Uh, Pretty much almost all my calculations say they have to keep the radars on here to make this happen. There's no other way to create this flow. If they didn't turn this on, this would move straight across the country, and you wouldn't have the inundation that seems to be wanted along this line here from Mount Isa to Tennant Creek, which has so often been flooded this year, which I'm well aware of a railroad line that's wanted here to be upgraded. These type of runoffs from these storms, they may not be like 20 feet deep, but when they're running fast, they're running fierce, dangerous, and they're going to undermine these railroad tracks that they butt up against. Like if a railroad track is running this way and it's got a berm that's raised up in the air, the water's going to be hemming against them, looking like a dam, and people might even been using that railroad track berm to walk along, and it's starting to be undermined. They're not designed to take this many events in a row, and the rumblings of the trains in between each time has started to undo the packing on them. And I have a feeling that there's going to be some big problems along the train lines of these corridors. And if I see a derailment, I'm not going to be surprised at all. Great care needs to now be used on the bridges that are the infrastructure along these travel corridors, even for you truckers with the land trains, even. Uh, the infrastructure isn't designed to take this many flooding events in a row. But that is really good news coming for over the 10 days. Yes, you're going to have some showers. You're going to have some wet on the coast. But we're not talking an inundated flooding event scheduled for this area as of 10 days. But after that, this has to move through. It has to. Where they bring it out, all the convections on that 10-day say they're going to spin a cyclone. There's too many winds going off the shore for it to come in here. The only outlet on the 10 days is here, in here. So a long, sustained raining event pins this storm here. And that's a bad thing. With this high rotating in this direction here, kicking the cold into the tropical stuff along the 14 lines, which comes down to the 18 here above Brisbane, this puts you in the sights for the rain coming offshore. And when this does finally come ashore, when they turn these radars off up here and it comes, you're going to spin one over here. You have to. That's just how that works. And we're looking at, well, that's Boxing Day here. You'll be on Tuesday, your time. This is still clear. And that's great for the farming belt over here. It's great for your chance to dry out some of your stuff. The isolated showers you can expect to pop up anywhere along these 14, 16 lines as the volatility of a natural day occurs with these conditions. Temperature-wise, some places be quite hot. But when you're getting near this day, again, the natural conditions of the hot to cold are in place to cause quite a bit of volatility along this line. So when thunderstorms do start to develop it'll be the 27th your time during the day, they're going to be fierce, and they'll start on this edge here where they meet. And the mountains are going to have a compressing effect, so this will back up a bit, harder, and then it'll come through. You'll be glitched big time through here. Has to be on to do this event. Once two radars are going to pretty much own the show here, right? Alice is going to do the pin and the oscillations, and Brisbane, the 4 radars up there are going to really influence where the flows can go in such an event, right? And that's 10 days from now, where you're still not showing rain. But I say different. If the radars are turned off, it has to rain here. All the conditions are in place. And when it left the line there, The radars must be fairly off up here in a line like this, beaming, to hold the moisture here and to hold that so it comes down. For all intents and purposes, if the radar lines I've been seeing deployed straight up and down this area here were off, this would come across very quickly. It's a weird flow going on, you know. This is the tropics that flow along a line like this across the whole planet, right? Well, you've reversed the flow here. There's been a beaming event coming up and down this ocean that is now moving that along. And that's a strangeness. Very strange flow. You're down in when you get below into the tropic zone, yeah, but the equatorial flow shouldn't do that. So that's an EMF beaming move. And seeing all this high pressure up here has told me they popped a beam down. So now I'm going to go look. See, that one will show up on the 180. 180 should have that. Yeah, I've used this site for years. Null School disappointed me with bad data, so I stopped using them. And Rothschild bought it. What could possibly go wrong with that? Right, I'm looking for a beam here that comes down into here. Turkey got hit. Right there, big beam right there to increase the earthquake risk for right here. In Cheshme. You guys got blasted, look. Bzzz, then they whited it out. Whited out a little too late. So I'm looking for a beam here to turn a flow. And it's going to be further along. Boom. Right there. Again. Boom. Right there. That's the mover. That was the manipulation. Where did it come from? Madagascar, most likely. Yep. Guilty. There's a station here that can reach it, but it's busy shoving that one toward Yemen and Somalia to gift the House of Saud some water. That's going to be devastating, and again, that'll make the nose for Christmas. This here is bad. They're lucky they're stripping the moisture off and they just don't barrel that in. If that barreled straight in right now, finger of God. Yeah, very, very bad. New Zealand, there you are. Big beam went through you straight off here. Look at this tendril moisture being stretched and pinched towards you. Big beam straight up and down here, coming straight up. That's your corridor. They've done a cut off the island. See it right there where I'm pointing? Just that one. That one. Puts the interference pattern right over this EMF beam is over the Lake Tapao. So we'll be watching for further earthquakes and slides into the caldera there. And let's hope she don't go. What a Christmas show that'll give people. My God. What geoengineering can do to us. Yes, it has been beamed. Yes, it has been moved. Yes, I'm going to turn that off. Right, where was I? So big beams has come down as well from here. This is pushing cold. That's a winter maker. That'll disturb the jet to bring us some more cold down here. Look at this raging out to sea here. Yeah, that's a gear. See, we get clobbered. We get a good clobbering here for Christmas, but it doesn't look like it's going to be rain. Right? So you know, if you're going to place your bets on weather, and we're only allowed to do this once a year for Christmas, New Year, for Christmas Eve. You could do Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Is it going to snow in certain parts? I'm going to bet no snow London. But there's some cities up here you could bet yes snow on. Aberdeen's a tough call. But you could say, yeah, it's going to snow here and not snow there. You could make a cleanup on this. I'm going to ask to make a multiple bet. I'm going to do an exacta. That's us. Okay. We're in for a very cold day today, but not as cold as it has been. It's terrible, terrible snowstorms through here, up in the mountains. This is Iran. A lot of ancient fossils there. My Imaginarium loves that part of the world. So, let's do it today. I just told you you're fucked for Christmas in a way like you've never seen before. This is not the peace on earth, goodwill to men. This is goodwill to too few. And not enough humane beings. Right, here's today. Have it, have it, have it, have it, have it, have a glance. And I can have a sip off this warm drink. That click top's going to get annoying, eh? Well, keep that in mind. Hey, it's keeping my drink warm, man. I'm cold. My hands are already freezing. So that'll be when the forecast ends. So right, as we go through Sunday, which will be Monday morning your time, you get the light show at dawn. Boy, will you get some shots of sunrise from this direction looking out wide. Because the clouds will be lit in a really odd way. Sheets of rain will be seen. Hail will be falling. Big supercell plant to truck the wrong direction here when everything's going there. Hey, Mount Ice, beaming much? Yeah. How you doing down here, South Australia them days? I ain't left you out. You're just having some nice sunny weekend. And you should enjoy this. Join the protests. Hashtag expose the 28. Who are the 28? Many people ask. That's an honest answer we all deserve to know. Right? I could read a list of names. I fucking can. I could print them on a banner. I fucking will. Yeah, I'm still waiting for him to get back to me on the artwork. I've been there in person. I said I would. Things sometimes take longer than you hope. Fucking hell. That means if they're going to split a bunch of cells, you're going to have some terribly dangerous hail, crop destroyers. If you have the ability to cover your stuff outside so you don't destroy your garden from some of these hailstones, you might want to do it. Who knows what's in the air? What it's going to do to your crops afterwards. So rinsing off your leaves with some good quality H2O, I think will be very important. Having some of that oxygen water don't do too bad for a plant. Right? You giving it to yourself? Well, think of nature too. When we're getting rid of so much of the CO2 it needs, and the oxygen goes away, making various sulfur acids and stuff in the sky. When you're making the titanium oxides and stuff, the oxygen's coming from the sky. It's a weird storm. Pulling a tendril, man. Coming Tuesday. Some very, very heavy rains. Boom! During the daytime, they flare up. During nighttime, they're calming down. So they're relying on the heat on the top of the cloud from the sun. Now, you don't get to say, I have to do their dirty work. I don't want to do your dirty work no more. Do-do-do-do. I refuse to be pimped and treated like a whore. Do-do-do-do-do. He said whore. Yeah, he did. Hey, there was a whore in the Bible too, you remember? The whore of Babylon. Oh, now I wasn't talking about Mary Magdalene. I don't believe that story. They just talk shit about Jesus' wife, so you don't believe the story. That was true. Where's the book of Enki? Bring it in. Where's the book of Mary? Bring it in. Otherwise, don't tell me your Bible is complete. The book of lies that omits lies is lies. Or that admits truth is lies. Hey, Tennant Creek, how you doing Saturday the 24th? A nice circle of rain around you. A Lando cane will form. Being pinned by Alice Springs, it has to let some of it south. Not that day. She's a pulsator. Expect that radar to go offline. And then she goes, and she's pulsed. Are they going to move it at night? No. Straight up and down shove. So we can expect a really big beam pop here on Sunday. Plus do a separate. It's got to come down and do a sweep. So they'll load this like they load the Gulf of Mexico and do a push move. The wiper, as I'll call it. And I'll start pointing these out to you. So you learn these moves that I see on Mimic. Okay? I promise I will do these things as I remember. I'm sorry if you're not in the picture, but all your weather's coming from up here right now. And if I don't see it tendriling towards you, I ain't sweating it. They're gonna. They have to. This has to leave. That's a weird flow. When's New Zealand going to defend itself with its radar like Fiji does? Blammo. Merry Christmas, everyone. Do do do. When are we going to get a good meteor shower look? Yeah, along here you should have great viewing of the meteor shower coming on the 22nd. And do go look at the majesty of the universe and watch it. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Or maybe it's just pieces of dirt from the dome falling off. They're burning it up there. You're just going to see them doing it. You know, explain that one. The meteors. Yeah, there's a lot of gaps in some things. Yeah, I know NASA lies like a rug, right? Kubrickians. You got gold bricks and Kubricks. And sometimes they're all in the same room. My God, this is a terrible setup. Total inundation for the north, unabated for the next 10 days. The water runs at night, increases during the day. Get your stuff out your shops in these low-lying areas. Now I'm going to go over the area of actual fuckery. Actual fuckery. Here's your totals. Hey, New Zealand, I won't leave you out here, look. Even though somebody threw me under the bus there. Right, here's you. Bad day. Really bad day for the volcano field. I'm very worried about it. I keep seeing it going on. Blowing a big chunk out. That's not good. I'm giving you a good slow lock. Richmond Range is active. Storms over Richmond, Nelson. Some coming from the south to the north. That's going to bring a batch of cold air, trigger more showers. Say your storms over the next 24. Accumulations. Fuck, my hands are getting cold. Yeah, I thought it would be around here. Expect that to increase along this area. I'm not agreeing with this total. It's going to be higher. That's about more accurate. How much water are we putting in? Man, this is bad. You're right in a bubble up too. Sideways bubble. So you can expect that range to come in impulses to continue there. You're lucky you're out of the main tropical belt right here. That they tendrilled down. Where are they bringing that? They'll bring that back around to hit New Zealand here and hit Australia in about 2 weeks. Takes about that line to move it from here around the planet to come back around here. To mix with something else. That'll be coming you. This is kicking like this. Kicking like that. Pinch point in here. Bubble up in there. Just a brief bubble up going on the tent. Not good at all. Yeah, you do got a bit of a side bubble here going on, not much. These two, for all intents and purposes, should have connected by now, but this is being heated different than that. Because it's showing up on the... A shipment is due to arrive today. Yes, that's my fucking heater, yes. My hands won't be cold and my feet are cold. This is where the shower's going to come in. It warm me right up. What we got out here? What's going on? First, the big one that's packing all the moisture. This is all that rain. There's 3/4 of a meter of rain here if it fell. Over 10 days in this one spot. And it's all chem. It's all being sustained with chem. With properties that can more than likely pull moisture out of the water itself that's over the top of it. and that water is warm. Fuel storms anyhow, so we was told our whole lives, so that should still be most practical information to have. You got a big fryer on the low deck. Look, the knuckles nucleus going there. Big streamers of shit going over the top here. Making the dynamics to hold this in place. Do I see the beam swath yet? That's where the sun shines. That's mighty flat on the edge. That's where that beam went and is aiming it toward here. That I said earlier. So that's evidence of a beam. Went really far. They're making a nudger. See how that flat edge, when it bumps into another mass of stuff, it nudges. A curve way interacting with that on the lower deck. See it coming that way. And another curve that way. Boy, they rumbling this with some EMF. So they're going to make something there. New Zealand, I'll start with you so I don't forget. Fuck, my feet are getting cold. The hell is this? A toxiflyer over the skies. That's a hell of a chem bomb formation. Not naturally occurring cloud formation, or is Wonder Woman's plane suddenly getting visible? Wonder Woman. She put it into this shit. She's tall. Wonder Woman. I watched that movie last night. The 1984 one. Fascinating. Fascinating thoughts of consciousness about in that one. Hey, Greymouth. Hey, gray skies too. The land of the long-ass chemtrail here. Look at this shit. That direction, that direction, that direction. You say chemtrails ain't real and chem bombs ain't real. You better look at New Zealand. Total whited out mess. And if we can find a gap in the clouds, what do we see? Right over here's a gap. Oh, they brushed it out. Look like the not so smiley face here with zippers. The nightmare before Christmas is about to happen. But if you see something in the clouds out here looking like that, it's a not naturally occurred cloud formation. If I look off the coast of what's headed your way, boom, boom, plums. Boom, boom, plums. Chem bombs suck. They fucking do. And they got in the whole coast of Australia, you get some snow in the mountains, but a straight line of snow. You know, in microwaves. Straight lines. Men in High Castle frying. I'm from Newcastle. Big bomb going off over here off the coast over of Sydney. Over maybe there's a pod of whales that are taking a Christmas holiday to go up to Harvey Bay. They're not going to enjoy that very much. Oh no, they're bombing us. Let's go back. Look at the waveforms through here. Armdale, Grafton, Maury. Separate things for nucleating pulsations that will ham-cam predictably into lines of storms. Mighty circular, this one particular area with lines pointing towards somewhere. Nothing to see here, just drinks his tea, says the boiled frog. These are those streamers I was talking about, Radley. Look at this shit, that's sickness mix heading over here toward Port Lincoln. The Phoenix rises. The chem bomb is evident. Evident. The fiery phoenix over the land. And it looks like it's fired in beautiful color water. It's a shame that this stuff here is falling out on it. What a shame. You know, we had a beautiful day out here. There's beams coming out, a big square over the island. Looks like it's giving a smooch. It looks like a duck. What's up, Doc? You're despicable, he's saying to these chem bomb field out here. Show me a clear day. Yeah, that was where I was trying to see if that was a feature under the water. It's not. It's chem bombs. What a fucking shame. Ho, ho, ho. You're being hoed like a farm. Masks! This is what you do to a marine park? Chemicalize the air over the top of it for it to fall out? Bombing them? Shockwaves going through the water of infrasound, irritating fish and throwing off their communication? Is this a normal formation, do you think? Use your head for more than an asshat rack. If I could fix stupid, a whole lot of people would just disappear at once. Because stupid cures itself. And I wish it would go ahead and cure itself sooner. Boy, there's a lot of dust and shit in the air making that much damn haze off of the sun. Big waveform coming off the coast. I should be able to pick up on that. Maybe not. It's barely visible on the low deck. It's like they've turned the sensitivity off on some of the layers of the radar, so you can't see the action. That's alright. You can't hide from the skies. You have to breathe this. If you've got military style air filtration systems, EMF blocking paints and insulations and walls and glasses and stuff that you can afford, glass that blocks it, then you could live very healthily in an environment that's doing this to people. You can go in your own billion-dollar submarines that people privately own. You can go anywhere they want, unseen into tunnels. As you've been put up for sale. Look at the BMF line right across here. Your ears itchy over here at all? Feeling scratchy on the skins? Look at the blast here. Bzzz. Hamilton, the new movie. The new musical called Infrasound. It just irritates you. And the air is broken into hell and they're breaking wind. Sky farts all descending upon you. How they go across the valley, the boiling of the trot going on here near Dubbo and Orange and Tamworth, Terry, Atari is. Oh my God! Look at all the EMF coming down. See that ripple wave? Going straight across. That's a blast. This is all being perturbed as it's going up. That's a big wave. But it's not going on up here, but it's going on here. Most likely suspect. Newcastle. The men in high castles frying from Newcastle. You bastards. They're poisoning us, man. They're frying you. They're poisoning your air. And then they're blaming your colds that you get on something else. But clearly, if man stopped deploying these chem bombs in your skies, our health would improve. The health of the environment would improve. There'll be less mass die-offs. There'll be less whales beaching if they stop with this EMF bombs over the ocean. It's unacceptable that the few gain while the many lose. It's illogical. It's anti-spark. Look at these sickness mix being deployed here between Burrville and Charleville. And that's coming your way. And when you go to bed, you might be hot and open your windows. And you're going to be breathing this as it falls out. If you turn a black light on at the sky, you'll see this stuff raining down around you. And if you ain't got an industry or somebody's been whipping up a bunch of dust yeehawing around the dirt road, then that's where it's coming from. It's coming from the sky. You'll have dust being whipped up from the desert and the sands, and you'll have chem falling out on you. Falling out on you and your loved ones. Falling out on your dinner table. Like they're spraying you like bugs over your dinner table. And your dinner table is your garden. Your dinner table is the air that you breathe. That sustains your very life. You can miss a meal. See how many breaths you can miss and stay alive. But this is not what I want to breathe. This is not what I want other people to breathe. And I damn sure don't want these animals out here in my reef being subjected to day after day of microwave toxification, infrasonic bombardment of their environment that they need to use to navigate and communicate. And I damn sure do not consent to blowholes blowing out sulfuric acid fumes. Maybe they're gurgling too. Is anybody putting a stethoscope to a whale's chest to hear if it's gurgling? What happens when they get pneumonias from this shit? What happens when they breathe the microplasmas? What happens when they sift out the vaccine excretions that came from your bodies? And the other poisonous things that you take in the like say are flavorings and colorings and... Look, you were born of nature. Be as natural as you can. Dyeing your hairs and acting all like a chain. And meanwhile, the mark of Zorro is in the trough. Taking away your sunshine, poisoning your organic gardens, toxifying the lungs of your children and your pets. This stuff is falling out and they walk in it worse. Your dog walks along the path nuzzled in the ground, smelling things in the morning with the dough. And this is what it's getting. And we're seeing terrible burns on your noses and cancers on your feet that I can't always attribute to glyphosate. But I can say that we all are breathing this air. This still goes around the entire planet. We are all God's children under the sun, including the animals out here and the animals in these forests. And as they flood you out and plan terrible devastation over the holiday periods, I shake my head as I go into my 11th month of disaster reporting coming after New Year's on Australia. And when is it going to cease? When will people realize that when you play by the rules, you die by those rules? And they're killing us. And here's what you got common. Terrible, terrible totals to these towns. Tennant Creek, get ready. The rain might not hit you, but all the runoff's coming. These lakes are going to have difficulties, great difficulties. They're going to open up the canteen over the creek. Fuck, this is hard. How many little times I gotta wave goodbye to in my mind here? I'm trying not to utter the words. I mean, that highway is wiped. That highway is wiped. That's an interesting formation. A wing, beak, headpiece, and thorax, and stinger. Interesting one, that. Well, that's one good thing. This runner's going to wash off a lot of the stuff that's around the hominids. The oldest fossils that I could find that is not openly discussed. Wow! That's a clobbering. That's just one person's sayings. Yeah, it's worse from theirs. This is what I see as being more accurate. Remember I told you I could see a half a meter coming. It's very possible. Okay? I'm just gonna roll it. I'm having a hard time keeping from bursting into tears. So I'll just show you. Expect that total to rise over the next 3 days as we get closer to the main event, bringing the rest of this tendril in. So for you to see. Along the railroad path. Then he looks at the Northern Territory, thinks about Christmas, and all I can say is, and then a river ran through it. What a fucking shame. But I gotta stop. Big love, people. I'll give you another update later.